Hello all. In this session we are conducting the experiment on induction motor. The experiment is load test on 3-phase induction motor. Okay. So in the previous experiment we have seen the load test on DC shunt motor. In the similar way we are conducting the load test on 3-phase induction motor. Okay. So here we are interested to get the operating characteristics of the induction motor, that is the curves, variation of efficiency with respect to output, variation of slip with respect to output, variation of power factor and torque with respect to output. So the aim of experiment is to find the these load curves of the 3-phase induction motor. Okay. So to conduct this experiment we use this apparatus, 0 to 10 amperes ammeter. MI is moving iron, that is AC measurements. 0 to 600 volts voltmeter MI, 2 wattmeters of 0 to 600 volts 10 amperes UPF, okay, and a tachometer to measure the speed. Okay. So the specifications of the motor is given by, it is a 2.2 kilowatt, 1400 rpm, okay, 50 hertz, 415 volts, 4.8 amperes, 3-phase induction motor. Okay. So the load current is 4.8 amperes. Okay. So I cannot increase the load beyond 4.8 amperes. So this shows the connection diagram. Okay. So in connection diagram, this is the supply switch. Okay. So this is the supply switch what we use in MCB. These are the wattmeter and ammeter voltmeter connections. This is the 3-phase star delta starter. Okay, it is a star delta starter. So the star delta starter is here at the side of the table. So this is a star delta starter with on off switch. Okay, this is green switch, not clearly visible because of no light. This is the red switch. Green switch is used to turn on, red switch is used to turn off. Okay, the connections for this 3-point starter is used using this DT switch. Okay,
TPS.
okay. We are using TPST switch. Okay, so these 3 terminals are the terminals of this star delta starter. Okay, and the entire connection is connected to the star delta starter using these 3 terminals. Okay, and these are the input supply terminals for the star delta starter. The output of star delta starter for the motor connection are given on the panel. Okay, so there are 6 terminals. Okay, 2 terminal for each phase winding. Phase R is having terminal A1 and A2. Phase Y is having terminal B1 and B2. Okay, phase C is having terminal C1 and C2. Okay, so these are the 6 terminals obtained from the stator connection of the stator winding. Okay, stator winding for the connections. Okay, and these 6 terminals, okay, are these terminals to connect the starter. Okay, so the references are mentioned. A1 is connected to A1 terminal, B1 is connected to B1, C1 to C1, okay, A2 to A2, B2 to B2, C2 to C2. So this connection what we do will serve the star delta operation of the starter. Okay, and these connections we use 2 wattmeters. In R phase there is 1 wattmeter, in B phase there is 1 wattmeter. Okay, so these are the 2 wattmeters, wattmeter 1 W1, wattmeter 2 W2. So W1 and W2. Okay, this is a line ammeter 0 to 5 amperes. Now 5 ampere ammeter is sufficient for me because the current rating of the motor is 4.8 amperes. And I have the voltmeter of 0 to 600 volts. The supply voltage is 415, so 0 to 600 volts range is valid, we can use. Okay. So the connections are made as per the circuit diagram. Okay. So in R phase, like I told, in R phase the wattmeter is connected. This is wattmeter 1. This is wattmeter 1, this is wattmeter 2. Okay, this is W1 and this is W2. So in R phase, okay, R is connected to mains of wattmeter 1, line is connected to the R phase of star delta starter switch. R is connected to, okay, mains terminal, R is connected to mains terminal of, okay, R is connected to the mains terminal of, this is R winding. Okay. So R is connected to the mains of wattmeter 1, above the line is wattmeter 1, okay, mains of wattmeter 1. Here M and C are shorted, okay, this M and C terminal are shorted, okay. Then V is connected to the V of another wattmeter, V is connected to V of another wattmeter, okay. Then from Y phase it is connected to the line emitter. Line emitter is connected to the Y phase of the starter, okay, starter terminal. Then B phase, you can observe Y is connected to the emitter and emitter is connected to Y phase of the starter. Then here in B phase is connected to M of wattmeter 2, M and C is shorted here, L is connected to the B phase of starter and V is connected to V and shorted at the mid phase, okay. B is connected to M of wattmeter 2, M and C are shorted, V is connected to V of wattmeter 1 and that is connected to the mid phase. So this gives us the connection diagram for the conduction of load test on 3-phase induction motor. Okay. Now the procedure: connections are made as per the circuit diagram. Connections are already done. Switch on the supply, keeping the motor on no load. So I should be ensuring the motor is on no load. Okay. So the motor is on no load. You can see the belt is free to move. So the motor is on no load. Okay. Third point: start the motor using star delta starter. And at no load take the readings of all the meters. Okay. So I will be closing the TPST switch. Okay, I will be closing the TPST switch so that the 3-phase supply will be now connected to the starter. Okay. Now here, using the start button, I will be starting the motor. Sorry, I did not turn on the mains. Yeah. So the supply voltage available is 410 volts. Supply voltage available is around 415 volts. It is between 10 and 20, 415 volts. Okay. So close the TPST switch, giving the supply to the starter, and turn on the motor. No load speed of the motor is 1493 RPM. This is the RPM meter, speedometer. So we can directly measure the speed from this display. Okay. And you can also observe one of the wattmeter is showing negative. Okay. Why it is showing negative? Already the things have been explained in detail in the previous session. You please go through that video, because the power factor of the induction motor is very less than 0.5. Therefore, because the power factor of the induction motor is less than 0.5, one of the wattmeter will show negative. Okay. So wattmeter show you 2, you can observe it is showing negative. Okay. If I further increase the load or to take the readings of wattmeter 2 is not possible now, hence I should reverse the current coil or potential coil of the wattmeter so that I can get the readings of the wattmeter, and that value should be taken negative. Whatever the reading I get wattmeter of wattmeter 2 now, after reversing the current coil or potential coil, that reading should be taken negative until it reaches 0. Again I have to interchange the terminals, okay, and after that whatever the values we get, those should be taken positive, okay. And observe the line current. The line current value is around 3.1 amperes, okay, whereas the full load current is 4.8 amperes. Full load current is 4.8 amperes, but no load current is 3.1 amperes. Okay, so the no load current of induction motor will be more than 50% of full load current of induction motor. But whereas in DC motor, what we have seen in the previous experiment, the full load current was 12 amperes and the no load current was 1.4 amperes. Okay, why? That is because the armature is very light in weight when compared to the rotor of the induction motor. Hence the rotational losses in DC motor are much less when compared to the rotational losses in induction motor. And also because of induction process, the primary or the stator power has to be forced into the rotor. Hence the losses in the induction motor are much more when compared to the DC motor. Therefore, the current drawn by the induction motor at no load is much larger than the current drawn at no load by the DC motor. Okay, so that is the change. So generally, the no load current of induction motor will be more than 50% of the full load current of that value. Okay, so that doesn't mean this is at 50% of load condition. Okay, it is still at no load. But because one of the wattmeter is now showing negative, I will switch off the supply and reverse the current coil or potential coil connections. Then again I will come back for the conduction. Okay. Now here wattmeter 2 was showing negative reading, or it was kicking back. Therefore I have to interchange the current coil or potential coil connections. Okay. If I have to interchange potential coil connections, I can do it online. Even when the supply is on, I can do that. But if there is a small negligence in doing that connection interchange, you may come in contact with the live 450 volts. So never try that. Best safety method is turn off the supply, either now interchange current coil or potential coil connections. Okay. So I will now interchange potential coil connection. I will now interchange potential coil connections. Okay, and I will restart the motor. Now whatever the reading this wattmeter shows, that is a negative reading. Okay, now close the supply switch and start the motor. So now observe wattmeter. Now observe the wattmeter 2 is showing some reading. Now that reading is negative value. Okay. So therefore, now at no load condition, note down the readings. So the voltage supplied is 415. It is almost 415. Line current is 3.2 amperes. Okay. W1 and W2. W1 is 750 watts. W2 is it is showing 350, but because it was kicked back and I have changed the potential coil connections, it is minus 350. F1 and F2 will be 0. Okay, F1 and F2 will be 0. Speed is 1494 rpm. Okay, torque and P out you can calculate later. Now we will load the motor slowly so that the current will reach to its maximum value. That's it. Beyond 4.8 amps I will not be loading the motor. Okay, so I will be loading the motor. So the line current is, supply voltage is constant, line current is 3.3 amperes. W1 is 1000 watts, W2 is 0, it is showing 0, speed is 1478 rpm. Spring balances are 5 and 1.5. Okay. Spring balances are 5 and 1.5. Okay. Now if I further increase the load as it is, wattmeter 2 will now show again negative readings. Now actually it is in negative region, now it has reached 0, it will go into positive region. Okay. So now again I have to interchange the potential coil connections which I had done earlier to get the negative values. Now release the load, close the supply, open the supply switch, interchange potential coil connections of W2, okay, then increase the load beyond 3.3 amperes directly. Okay, that is the next process. Turn off the motor, open the TPST switch, open the supply switch. Now interchange voltage coil connections of W2. Now whatever the readings it will show, because I am directly increasing the load after 3.3 amperes, so it will cross that negative and 0 region, then it will go into positive region of the values. Okay. So close the supply switch. Now whatever the readings is shown by W2 should be taken positive. Turn on the motor. Increase the load to 3.5 amperes directly. Now you can observe W2 is showing some reading and that reading is positive. Okay. So line current is 3.6. W1 is 1300 watts. W2 is 200, that is plus 200 now. F1 and F2 are 8 and 1.8. Speed is 1463. Okay, voltage is 450 volts constant. Next I can vary the load. Further load is varied. 3.6, I can go up to 3.8 amperes or 3.9 amperes I will go. Okay, line current is 3.9. Voltage is 415 constant. My W1 is 1500 watts, 1450 watts. W2 is 350 watts plus 350. F1, F2 is 10.5 and 10.4 and 2.3. 10.4, 2.3. Speed is 1454 rpm. Now I will increase the current at 4.2 amps. Now line current is 4.2. Voltage is 415 constant. Speed is 1442. Speed is 1442. W1 is 1600. W2 is plus 550. F1 is 12.5 and F2 is 2.8. Now next reading is at 4.5 amperes. Any steps of current you can take. 4.5 amperes. So W1 is 1700. W2 is 650. It is 14 and 3.4. 14 and 3.4. Speed is 1436. Last reading will take at full load 4.8 amps. 4.8 amps. W1 is 1850. W2 is almost 750. F1 is 15.4. F2 is 3.8 and speed is 1429. Okay. So the motor has reached its full load condition, therefore I cannot vary the load further. Okay. Hence we will stop varying the load. Now we will do the reverse way. We will release the load. And we will stop the motor. We will stop the motor and we will switch off the supply. Okay, we will switch off the supply. One thing what you should observe in this experiment is, at no load, one of the wattmeter should show negative reading, else your connections are missing. One of the wattmeter should show negative reading. Okay. So the first power factor value will be less than 0.5, second power factor value will be 0.5, because one of the wattmeter is showing 0. So when one wattmeter shows 0, power factor will be 0.5. So these are the set of readings what we obtained, okay, during the conduction of load test of 3-phase induction motor. Okay. So the theoretical aspect of 3-phase induction motor is already been given in the last lab session, I think Monday or Wednesday. Okay. So you please go through that lecture video and you can go for the calculations of this experiment. Okay. So we'll end this experiment. Thank you.